Absolutely. Here's a YouTube article on the evolution of the Toyota Supra leading to the newest model, written without headings and in an engaging, dramatic style perfect for narration. Every legend has a beginning. And in the world of performance cars, few names carry the weight and aura of the Toyota Supra. It's not just a car, it's a symbol of speed, heritage, and rebellion. A machine forged in the fires of motorsport, refined through decades of evolution, and reborn into the modern era with even sharper claws. But to understand what makes the new Supra so special, we must journey through time, through the eras of innovation, through the roars of six-cylinder symphonies, and the silent anticipation of a long-awaited resurrection. It all began in the late 1970s, when Toyota was building a reputation for reliability, not excitement. But the company had a vision, to create a car that could challenge the best of Europe and America, not just in speed, but in style and soul. That dream took form in 1978, when Toyota introduced the Celica XX in Japan, known as the Celica Supra in the United States. It was longer, wider, and more powerful than the regular Celica. The name, Supra, from the Latin for above, hinted at what Toyota was aiming for. It wasn't just another car. It was a challenge to the status quo. The early Supras were grand tourers at heart, smooth, composed, and confident. But they weren't yet beasts. That came later. In 1986, Toyota broke the Supra free from the Celica line, giving it its own identity. The third-generation Supra, now a standalone model, embraced rear-wheel drive and was fitted with powerful straight-six engines. It was elegant but had muscle underneath, especially in the turbocharged models. With pop-up headlights and a long, sloping hood, it looked like it belonged in a wind tunnel, and on the Autobahn. But then came 1993. And the world of performance cars changed forever. The fourth-generation Supra, the A80, was a declaration of war. Sleek, aggressive, and unmistakably aerodynamic, it was unlike anything Toyota had ever built. Under the hood, a 3.0-liter twin-turbocharged inline-six known as the 2JZ GTE. A name that would become legendary. Factory rated at 276 horsepower in Japan, but much more in reality, this engine was overbuilt to a degree that bordered on obsession. Capable of handling 800, 900, even 1000 horsepower with the right tuning, it became the darling of the tuner world. It wasn't just fast, it was limitless. But the Supra wasn't just a straight-line hero. It had the handling to match, the brakes to stop on a dime, and the build quality of a high-end watch. It was Japan's answer to the Corvette, the Porsche 911, and even the Ferrari 348. And yet, despite all that brilliance, it was misunderstood. Sales lagged. The market was changing. Insurance costs were rising. By 2002, the Supra quietly disappeared from Toyota's lineup, leaving behind a trail of tears, tuned monsters, and a cult-like fanbase that refused to let it die. Years passed. The legend grew. The Fast and the Furious franchise turned the Supra into a silver screen icon. Prices for used A80s skyrocketed. Forums, clubs, and meets kept the flame alive. Fans begged Toyota to bring it back. And then, in the shadows of motor shows and concept sketches, rumors began to swirl. Could the king return? In 2019, after nearly 2 decades of silence, the answer exploded onto the stage. The fifth-generation Supra, code-named A90, was here. And it divided opinions instantly. Developed in partnership with BMW, the new Supra was not just a rebirth, it was a transformation. Underneath the sculpted, muscular body was a platform shared with the BMW Z4. The engine, a 3.0-liter turbocharged inline-six developed by BMW, code-named B58. Some called it sacrilege, others called it smart engineering. But once you stepped inside, turned the key, and unleashed the Turbo 6 on a winding road, all doubts began to melt away. The A90 Supra was quick, 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds. It was sharp, agile, and precise, with a perfect 50-50 weight distribution and a chassis tuned by Toyota's own Gazoo racing team. It wasn't just a rebadged Z4. It had its own soul, its own character. And most importantly, it brought the Supra name back to the spotlight, where it belonged. Still, Toyota listened to the critics. They heard the calls for more involvement, more connection. In 2022, they answered, by giving the Supra something it had never had before, a manual transmission. That's right, a 6-speed stick, mated to the B58 engine, giving purists the one thing they craved most, control. Rowing through gears in the A91 Mount Edition became an experience, a tribute to everything the Supra ever stood for. But Toyota wasn't finished. In 2023, the Supra evolved once again. Subtle refinements to suspension, software, and tuning sharpened its already impressive performance. Special editions, like the 45th anniversary, celebrated the car's legacy with unique paint jobs, carbon spoilers, and performance tweaks. And behind the scenes, Toyota continued to work with tuners, racers, and enthusiasts to push the car's potential even further. The new Supra is not just a car, it's a statement. A statement that performance can still thrive in an age of hybrids and automation. That passion still has a place on the road. And that some legends, no matter how long they sleep, can rise again stronger than ever. What makes the Supra's evolution so powerful isn't just the numbers on a spec sheet. It's the journey. From the humble beginnings in the late 70s to the turbocharged glory of the 90s, from the heartbreak of its disappearance to the drama of its rebirth, the Supra has lived a life few cars ever experience. It has faced doubt, risen above criticism, and emerged as a modern icon forged from decades of experience, emotion, and engineering excellence. Today, the Supra stands tall among the elite. It's a machine built not just for performance, but for passion. For every fan who stayed loyal, for every mechanic who turned a wrench on a 2JZ, for every driver who believed in the dream, this car exists because of you. It's the ultimate fusion of past and future, of legacy and innovation. And as the automotive world moves toward electrification, as engines grow quieter and roads more digital, the Supra remains a loud, roaring reminder that driving can still be an experience. That cars can still stir the soul. And that sometimes, a name is more than a badge, it's a legacy. So whether you loved it from the beginning or just discovered its power now, remember this, the Supra isn't just back. It's better, stronger, wiser, and ready for whatever the road ahead may bring. Would you like this turned into a dramatic voiceover script or formatted for a cinematic video storyboard?